This is Lloyd Talks. Is the Switch 2 worth the excitement, or is the hype overshadowing the truth? Dive in to why the Switch 2 might be overhyped and why the Steam Deck could actually be the better option for gamers. Alright, we all know the drill. Nintendo drops a new console and the fan base goes wild. But let's take a step back and really evaluate if the Switch 2 is truly revolutionary or just another marketing gimmick designed to keep that hype machine rolling. First, let's talk about what the Switch 2 is bringing to the table. More power? Sure. A bigger screen? Yeah, maybe. But if we're being honest, it's really just an upgraded version of what we've already seen with the Switch. I mean, think about it. Sure, Nintendo fans are excited for the improved specs, but at the end of the day, it's still just a hybrid console. Still using cartridges, still primarily a Nintendo-only ecosystem that can be docked and be handheld. But what else can it do beyond that? That's the same as the Switch 1. For those of us who want something more flexible, it may not be enough. You see, Nintendo is a master at creating hype. The hype train. When Nintendo posts something or makes a video, they just get hyped up. Look at Pokemon. They've built a brand so loyal that they could sell a plastic box with a logo on it and people would still buy it. But when you look at the actual specs and compare it to alternatives like the Steam Deck for customization options, you start to wonder if the hype is just blinding people from the big picture here. It's all about selling a lifestyle with Nintendo, but when it comes to raw performance and versatility, the Switch 2 might not be the powerhouse some people think it is. Now let's talk about the Steam Deck. Look at this beautiful piece of hardware right here, my goodness. This is the real deal here for hardcore gamers or people who just want to get the most out of their dollar, like maximize their dollar efficiency. The Steam Deck offers a ton of power, a huge library of games, and yes, it runs AAA titles with ease. And it has an OLED version out now, and you could get that instead of the Switch 2 LCD version only. Plus, you're not locked into any ecosystem. Want to play Steam games on the go? The Steam Deck makes it possible. For those of you who want freedom, flexibility, and better performance, the Steam Deck is the better buy. It's not just a portable Switch clone. It's a full-fledged gaming machine. One thing that stands out with the Switch 2, it's going to come at a premium. Nintendo has a history of pricing their consoles high, and the Switch 2 will likely follow suit, as we've seen. $450 for the base version. Wow, let's compare that with the Steam Deck coming up. Compare that to the Steam Deck, which gives you a more powerful experience at a better price point. Look at this, we're comparing both LCD versions, and the Steam Deck has larger storage versions with the option of a SD card, and it can also have an OLED version on the Steam Deck. And the beauty of the Steam Deck, you can install other platforms like Epic Game Store, Xbox Game Pass, and also GeForce Now has an app that you can directly download from the Discovery Steam Deck store, which I've done and tested out the GeForce Now Ultimate on the Steam Deck, and it's great. It's a true multi-purpose handheld, not just a Nintendo machine. The Steam Deck is a handheld computer. Imagine like a laptop in the palm of your hand that's also for gaming. And you can play cloud streaming of ultra games like Cyberpunk 2077 through GeForce Now on your Steam Deck. I'd like to see the Switch 2 be able to do that without frame loss. When it comes to games, the Switch 2 might have the Nintendo exclusives, but the Steam Deck opens up a world of options with its full access to Steam's massive library. There's way more games on Steam. You can just look at the numbers, and there's thousands of thousands compared to maybe only a couple thousand that'll be on the Switch. You're not limited to Nintendo's few major franchises, which hold the exclusives that we all know about. The Steam Deck lets you play virtually any game you want, including titles from the Epic Store, Origin Store, Xbox Game Pass, and GeForce Now, along with other launchers that you can combine to create whatever ultimate library setup you want. So while the Switch 2 will have those iconic Mario, Zelda, Metro titles, you might get tired of that limited selection. While the Steam Deck keeps evolving with access to new platforms, more games, it'll still have those indie games that are also available on the Switch that are indie. It just won't have the exclusives. But is it really worth getting a Switch 2 just for 1 to 3 exclusive games? The Steam Deck also wins in terms of customization. I mean, look at this. Someone's connected a computer, laptop keyboard to their Steam Deck with Bluetooth, and then connected an external monitor on top of it plugged in through USB-C while connected to their Steam Deck. I mean, the options are endless. It's open platform. You can tweak it, install mods, and upgrade components how you want to. The Switch 2, on the other hand, is likely going to remain the Nintendo's closed system, meaning it's only a gaming system with no other further functionality beyond that. So if you're someone who wants a device that can evolve with your needs over time, the Steam Deck is a more future-proof choice, because as you get more used to the customization options of a Steam Deck, you may want to try to get a Bluetooth keyboard or an external monitor and connect it, or you may want to try downloading some other files to customize the Linux operating system to your liking, and it will expand your knowledge base and in turn be a more enjoyable experience than just turning on to jump around on Mario. So, is the Switch 2 worth the hype? Might be for the really die-hard Nintendo fans. But if you're looking for raw power, better value for money, and flexibility, the Steam Deck is the smarter choice. Nintendo's always been about the experience, but in terms of gaming performance and versatility, the Switch 2 might just be a little too overhyped. So think before you click that pre-order button, because there might be better options out there for you. And I'm trying to lay out those really fine, important aspects that make you think, hey, is it really worth it? Is the excitement around the Switch 2 really justified, or is it merely a clever marketing tactic? I mean, look at these side-by-side comparisons, you know? While die-hard fans might defend the nostalgia, the charm of Nintendo titles, we have to look beyond the surface to reveal crucial facts. Yes, Nintendo was awesome back in the Game Boy days when that was really the only option for handheld, but times have changed. You have more options now. The Steam Deck isn't just a rival, it's reshaping the way we think about gaming in a handheld form in general. I mean, look at all the Steam Deck knockoffs that have come into the market ever since Steam Deck came out. There's at least 3 or 4 of them I can think of off the top of my head that have been trying to emulate what the Steam Deck did. They still can't do it as well. With its ability to run the AAA games seamlessly, it challenges the foundation of what gamers are going to expect from these portable consoles going forward, and seems like the Switch and Nintendo in general is always playing catch-up. Comparisons: consider your priorities as a gamer and whether you want to join the hype train or make an informed decision. The conversation surrounding the Switch 2 often blooms from nostalgia or hype or FOMO, fear of missing out, rather than real, true innovation. While Nintendo's heritage of beloved characters that we all love, such as Mario and Link, tugs at our heartstrings, the real question is whether these emotional ties are enough to overshadow the limitations of the console itself. It's important to recognize that nostalgia can cloud our judgment, making it easy to overlook the practical aspects of gaming. The Steam Deck emerges as not merely a substitute, but a true contender, empowering gamers with choice, speed, and an expansive game library that continues to grow in the thousands. This leads us to consider the significance of various gaming experiences in today's landscape. As we dive further into the features of these devices, let's not forget the community aspects surrounding gaming. The Steam Deck offers seamless integration with PC gaming communities and online platforms, fostering a sense of engagement among players meaning that your cloud saved files are linked and you can play on the PC, switch immediately to the Steam Deck, and your save is the same as it would be on either. Gamers can connect through the forums, share mods on the Steam Deck workshop area. They can stream their gameplay, create a rich social experience by adding friends and chatting with them through Steam, and also great fun time is reading through reviews on Steam and seeing all the different sort of options that people discuss. On the other hand, the Switch 2 leans heavily on its proprietary multiplayer systems, Nintendo Switch Online costing a fee per month. Just the Switch 2 now is coming out with the option to have built-in game chat, voice chat, and streaming features, so your friends can watch you stream your game, and it looks choppy 480p from what we've seen. While Nintendo has its charms, the diverse range of experiences available on the Steam Deck could be the key to cultivating a more dynamic and interconnected gaming culture as a whole. In today's fast-paced digital world, having the freedom to engage with others in various ways enriches the gaming experience significantly. As we analyze the differences further, it's vital to examine the performance metrics of each device, as we discussed earlier, but to really drive that point. The Steam Deck shines with its impressive CPU, GPU combination, claimed to handle the latest games with surprising efficiency while maintaining portable convenience and the full functionality of a computer. In contrast, the Switch 2 specs leave much to be desired, potentially limiting the gameplay experience, especially with demanding future titles emerging. The battery hour is just going to be chunked, and trying to play the next Zelda or the next cyberpunk-style game on Ultra is just going to drain the battery in a matter of hours. While if you have the option to download a GeForce Now Ultimate on your Steam Deck, you can play that through the cloud. It's not going to take up a lot of space, and it's not going to drain your battery because you're streaming it through your game device, something that the Switch 2 easily could have set up, but they don't. This disparity raises an essential question. Are gamers ready to settle for less in a continually evolving landscape? Less innovation, charging us just to have a game chat function, charging us for online capabilities, and charging us $450 with an LCD screen? While the nostalgia may play a strong role in shaping perceptions, the practical advantages of superior hardware cannot be brushed aside, along with the customization options and longevity that it provides. The Steam Deck stands as a testament to the fact that performance and innovation can coexist within a handheld format. Nintendo's commitment to maintaining a unique gaming atmosphere with their Joy-Cons is commendable, with their exclusives as well, but with it comes the risk of stagnation, and we've definitely seen that in the last Pokemon game that have come out, and even in the increase of prices they're charging for their Nintendo games now, going up to $80. The Steam Deck, in its versatility and power, invites users to explore beyond those familiar worlds, offering the freedom to choose the games and platforms they prefer. As the gaming landscape dynamically evolves, the potential for discovery and adaptation is crucial for enthusiasts seeking more from their devices. Gamers should weigh these considerations carefully and envision the future of their gaming habits. Ultimately, it appears the Steam Deck not only enhances the possibilities of handheld gaming, but also challenges the status quo established by Nintendo, resulting in a new exciting chapter for the gaming community. Despite the allure of Nintendo's exclusives, Switch 2, many gamers might find the Steam Deck's adaptability and evolution to be far more appealing in the long run. To not only play a broader range of games, but also tweak and enhance the gaming experience, adds a layer of excitement that goes beyond simply revisiting nostalgia or waiting for the newest exclusive Nintendo game to come out. The future of gaming lies in options, and as we move forward, those who crave innovation will undoubtedly lean towards what the Steam Deck offers over the more predictable path that we've seen thus far with the Switch 2. Ultimately, as your gaming preferences evolve, so too should your choice in the hardware, advocating for a shift towards devices that empower and elevate your overall experience. The narrative surrounding the Switch 2 often obscures the fact that performance and variety do matter. While it may boast exciting titles from beloved franchises, the limitation of its ecosystem can soon feel confining. Right now people are on the hype, the FOMO, trying to snag that Switch 2 on the pre-order cart on the websites, but give it time and you will be limited by the exclusives. In contrast, the Steam Deck champions freedom and adaptability, inviting gamers to expand their horizons, improve their knowledge, and tinker the Steam Deck to their perfect specifications that they would prefer. As we consider both options, it becomes increasingly clear that an open platform fosters engagement, creativity, and individual expression. Retro nostalgia has its place in the hearts of fans, but the pressing question is whether it can sustain interest when faced with larger possibilities that the Steam Deck brings. So if you're contemplating which device to invest in, remember to reflect on your gaming needs and desires. The Switch 2 may invoke fond memories and play host to classic titles, but the Steam Deck is going to offer a more dynamic approach that aligns with modern gaming trends. In the end, it's about choosing a console that not only caters to your nostalgia, but also embraces the potential of technology and innovation. As the gaming landscape continues to evolve, opting for versatility and power might lead to a more satisfying gaming experience overall. Choose wisely and happy gaming. So for some, the question will remain, will the Switch 2 truly live up to the hype, or will it simply be a polished iteration of just the Switch 1 with some new exclusives, slightly better crisp quality? In this ever-shifting gaming environment, the choice is clear. Embracing the flexibility and power of the Steam Deck may just be the key to unlocking a richer, more varied gaming experience that stands the test of time, unlike the limited offerings of the Switch 2. This has been Lloyd Talks, and I have both the Steam Deck and a Switch OLED, and I've only got a few games on the Switch OLED, mostly they're exclusives. As soon as I had a Steam Deck, I pretty much started using that 90% of the time, and the only time I would turn on the Switch was for those exclusives. Now, I've been very pleased with my Steam Deck for over 2 years, and I would recommend it, and I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening.